What you're going to find when you get there. They always make sure to put signs out. So if you go, just make sure you're paying attention to that, because that can really help you get around. Really nothing, though, to worry about, because during the next peak travel season, spring break, they're going to halt that. But looking at the airport this morning around there from our TDOT SmartWay cameras, 40 west of Donaldson Pike is all nice. Pretty clear, some cars on the road. This top lane is the one going into B&A this morning. Maybe some folks heading back home after a longer weekend in Nashville if they had yesterday off for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Here's a look at our crash map. Brand new injury crash in the downtown area. This is going to be just off 40, 2nd and Lafayette Street, kind of near the Napier area and the county clerk building downtown. We know 2 cars involved in here. Medics on scene, still getting a feel for what those injuries look like. But just heads up for my downtown drivers this morning. The Chef Report is brought to you by Electronic Express. Jennifer. It is dark early and cold out there, as they were saying. 65 Old Hickory Boulevard near the Williamson-Davidson County line this morning. Got a handful of cars out there, but nothing major going on. Just a lot of cars out there with their heat, I'm sure, turned up all the way this morning. Closer into downtown, 24 and Ellington Parkway, just a little bit busier down here as we're starting to see just some congestion build up. Nothing major right now at 520. Still clear on our interstates. We do have that downtown crash reported on 2nd and Lafayette Street. Going to continue to have more details about that throughout the morning. We do know that's an injury crash, but again, 2nd and Lafayette, nothing though on the interstates this morning. So drive times before you head out this morning, all nice and clear as of right now. 36 minutes from Clarksville, under half an hour from Murfreesboro, and under 15 minutes in from Franklin. The Chef Report is brought to you by Ground Up Foundation Repair. Sounds like a lot going on there in the harbor, but can't wait to see all of the celebration, birthday things all surrounded around this event. Speaking of events and getting prepared for it, do want to talk some weather details through over the next few days of what that looks like for you on the road. Just making sure you're prepared. Of course, these are all things we have had cold weather the past couple of weeks. It shouldn't be anything new, but over the next few days, just a little checklist to just keep in mind if you haven't done so already. That tire light that may be on this morning, just make sure to get that tire pressure checked. Also checking your car batteries. When you're getting out of the car, of course, today, if you might have a frosty windshield. We've had those before, but just make sure you're doing your part, scraping off as much as you can, because if you don't, that visibility really can be impacted, especially with whatever is coming our way. Just make sure you are making the windshield clear for you and also for others, because even if we do have a little bit of snow, sometimes it can get chunky, fall off, hit a car behind you, and then get into a really messy situation. Always don't leave that car unlocked and running, because then sometimes can create something sticky situation there, but really oftentimes not too bad. Just make sure you're paying attention to your vehicle whenever you do leave it on and running, trying to warm up this morning. This is one of those really cold starts, so just make sure you are planning ahead. We'll be right back with more news, weather, and traffic right after this. Town crash here, an injury crash just off of 42nd and Lafayette Street. We know 2 cars involved in this. Responders are there on scene. This is near the Napier area at the county clerk building downtown. But other than that, the crash map is still clear this morning. Slowly starting to see things pick up just a bit over here on the west side of 40 east of White Bridge Road. Not much going on, just some inbound, outbound traffic. No one's having any issues getting into town. And once you are looking down towards the southeast side of town, 24 near Old Hickory Boulevard, for you on this very chilly Tuesday morning. All in the green, no issues as of right now on our interstates. Of course, I do expect these to change here coming up into our 6 o'clock hour. Do want to talk a little bit about what's to come. Of course, whenever we've got any kind of winter weather in the schedule, that means we're going to have a lot of trucks on the road, getting some salt down, possibly, depending on what that calls for. And just a heads up, gonna bring you these details, leading up to that, just so you have them on hand. But when it does come to potholes, there's something you need to report. Of course, we've got TDOT and DOT fixing those all around here in the Nashville area and on our bigger roads, those interstates. You can call them, you can report it online. If you do see those crews out, of course, nothing major happening right now, really nothing at all. But leading up into the next few weeks, you will see them out there. Just make sure you're staying safe. Of course, NDOT, you can submit those online anytime. If you've got a pothole, though, in your neighborhood this morning that you say, I hate driving over this, it's hurting my car every time I hit it, give them a call, go online, submit that request before things do ramp up, because we just know all it takes is one event to really impact our roads. Hopefully, though, they won't be impacted too much. But guys, this is something that a lot lot of eyes are going to be on over the next few days, talking about how to prepare our cars, but we also kind of have to prepare mentally as well for what's to come. And preventing some of that congestion building on the north side of town near the 65-24 split at Trinity Lane. Starting to see a lot more headlights there. Nothing slowing folks down. When it comes to drive times, though, still in the green everywhere that we are looking. So from Lebanon on 40, 26 minutes, 24 from Gallatin. You just saw a little bit of that congestion, though, coming into town. It's not having any impact on those drive times here, 65. And from Dixon, the West Siders, 32 minutes in from 40. Crash map, we did have that downtown crash second in Lafayette. Sky 5 is about to launch. Gotta go check out that. But other than that, seems to be pretty nice and clear. Just starting to see a little congestion there building, but nothing major. The traffic report is brought to you by the law offices of John Day. Hickory Boulevard, TDOT was zoomed in here on a stalled car on the side. Looks like that has since gotten some help or gotten on the way there. East and westbound lanes having no issue getting through. Some of those drive times, if you are grabbing those keys, leaving your house this morning, 12 minutes from Antioch all the way up to still just under half an hour from Murfreesboro. Really not that bad out there at all. Just a very chilly start if your car is outside. Got to frost that windshield. The traffic report is brought to you by Ashley. Guys, it reported South Loop, a 65 near 40 East if you are headed towards the Huntsville exit towards south, towards Williamson County. Nothing going on there. Sky 5's made their way towards the Spider, 65, 440. Of course, we had some weekend construction around here in the southbound lanes on 65. That was on Saturday morning. If you got caught in that, hopefully you were able to make your way around that. But as this morning, that Spider, all those cars, they are moving, having no issues getting around. Our big picture map, we are starting to see some slowdowns, but we don't have any major interstate crashes this morning. We are starting to see just a little bit here southeast side of town, some of that yellow pop up. Of course, that Spring Hill bottleneck near the diverging Diamond intersection. But other than that, it is okay out there, just cold. I'll have an updated look at your drive times here in just a few minutes. The traffic report is brought to you by Ashley. We'll be right back. This cold weather that you are following those safety precautions. Sky 5 is up this morning, giving us issues this morning for those inbound drivers. Drive times, though, starting to pick up just a little bit. 11 minutes from Madison, 19 from Millersville, 38 from White House this morning. Nothing too big. No big interstate crashes, thankfully, on this Tuesday. Southeast side of town, a little bit slower down there. 24 near Old Hickory Boulevard. Those drive times are reflecting that as well. 23 minutes from Smyrna, 34 from Murfreesboro. We'll be right back with more traffic news and weather right after this break. It'll be quicker to take the interstate, although not by much. 28 minutes from 24, 35 minutes from Murfreesboro Pike. Want to get right to this injury crash that Sky 5 is following. This is going to be in Hermitage, Old Hickory Boulevard and Central Pike. We've got two cars involved in here. Looks like a head-on crash right here in the middle of this intersection. Again, Old Hickory Boulevard and Central Pike. Downtown, Sky 5 flew over it earlier near the South Loop. Nothing there. But when it comes to our drive time, it's going to have an updated look for you those in just a few minutes. But yes, very chilly start out there. Those first responders, you could see they had gloves on, all bundled up out there because it is bitterly cold.
Some snow. Oh, how much?
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a moment.
That's the big question everybody wants to know.
Right?
And some of the estimates out there are just mind-blowing.
Yeah, and some of the computer models even putting out big estimates, but it's too far. It's too far out to stake a peg in any of those.
Okay.
And we know you are the best person to trust.
We will do
not
our
those
best.
apps.
Yeah.
Well, first, let's take a look at today's morning snap. Opportunity around the mid-state this week in honor of MLK.
And one of those events is happening this morning in Antioch. Tony's, and we are on a beach somewhere warm. There's no snow in the forecast. Maybe just sun, temperature 80 degrees.
Ignoring everything we just heard.
Yes.
Zooming to somewhere tropical. Well, it turns out a lot of people are dreaming of summer. I wonder why with these temperatures, but many of them are actually planning their getaways in 6 months. So travel experts say